Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is Han Xiangzi's supernormal abilities. Han Yu, a Tang Dynasty poet, has a poor and lonely youth. His parents died when he was very young, so he was raised by his older brother. Sadly, the old brother also died when Han Yu was 15 years old. Han Yu's sister-in-law took care of the entire family by herself. Han Yu and his nephew were very close. They weathered tough times together and matured alongside each other. They were more like brothers than uncle and nephew. Just as Han Yu was becoming well-known and earned an official post, his nephew died. The nephew left behind a son named Han Xiangzi. Han Yu was heartbroken over the loss of his nephew. He took the nephew's son home and raised him as his own. Han Yu was determined to teach Han Xiangzi well, so he could become a well-educated man of talent. But Han Xiangzi was different from the other children. He always wore plain clothes and wasn't fond of dressing well. Han Xiangzi was a deep thinker who enjoyed solitude. He was very smart, but did not like to read. Out of frustration, Han Yu once demanded that young boy study. But Xiangzi replied, "We have different ambitions." When Xiangzi was 20 years old, he went to Luoyang to visit relatives. On the way, he met famous daoists Lu Dongbin and Zhong Liquan, and immediately decided to follow them and give up everything else in his life. Starting that day, Xiangzi vanished from Han Yu's life. Another 20 years passed. As Han Yu was celebrating his birthday joyfully with relatives and friends, Xiangzi made an unexpected appearance. Han Yu felt both joy and anger when he saw Xiangzi. "You've wandered away from me for so long," blamed Han Yu. "Perhaps you are now supernatural. If so, prove yourself by conjuring wine and making flower blooms." Xiangzi smiled but said nothing. He went to the lobby, filled an empty jar with water, and covered the jar with golden basin. Soon after, he removed the basin lid, and the strong scent of wine flowed out of the jar. Following that, he planted some seeds in the ground. Shortly after, buds emerged and quickly blossomed into fresh flowers. One of the flower petals was inscribed with a poem. "The clouds towards the mountains of Qin. Where is home? The snows around Languan. My heart steps refuse to begin." "What do these lines mean?" Han Yu asked. Xiangzi smiled but didn't answer. He went away once again. Later on, Han Yu angered Emperor Xian by not agreeing to welcome Buddhist relics. Han Yu was demoted to being a governor of Chao State. Chao was cold and far away from the capital. Han Yu had to cross barren mountains and traverse dangerous waters to get to his destination. En route, he encountered snow several feet deep. The snow had blanketed everything, and his horse couldn't travel anymore. As Han Yu wondered in despair if he could die there that day, Xiangzi flew toward him from a distance. Xiangzi smiled and asked, "Do you still remember the words written on that flower petal?" Confused, Han Yu only asked, "What is this place?" "This is Languan," answered Xiangzi. Han Yu suddenly remembered the poem. "The clouds towards the mountains of Qin. Where is home? The snow surrounds Languan. My heart steps refuse to begin." Han Yu felt like he had just woken up from a dream. He realized that Xiangzi was no longer an everyday person. Xiangzi led Han Yu to a motel in Languan. The two spent the evening drinking wine and recounting their life stories. Xiangzi told Han Yu many things about Daoist cultivation. Han Yu finally understood the truth about Daoism. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it.